And welcome back to another edition of the Pitch Putt and Puff podcast. My name is Roger, aka RGB. Got a real special guest coming up for you guys today. Before we get into that, though, I got to give a shout out to the sponsors, golfercbd.com. Make sure you guys check out golfercbd.com. What they're doing is golfers choose their essential gear like clubs, balls, and apparel based on the perceived advantages to their game to ultimately save strokes. With these benefits, Golfer CBD is an essential part of golfers' toolkit because it helps golfers maximize their most valuable tools, their bodies and minds. So what they have, a bunch of different products. We've talked a little bit about the sprays. The Golfer CBD topicals are truly a game changer with their patented delivery technology. They are strokes ahead of the competition, delivering 10 times more CBD directly to the muscles and joints than traditional balms and creams. The Golfer CBD topicals are easy to apply on the course, absorb quickly, and don't leave any sticky residue. I can definitely attest to that, making them the perfect addition to every golfer's golf bag. Make sure you check them out. Use promo code PPP10 to save 10% off at checkout. Also, make sure if you're local, check out 420 Bliss, located at 740 Hoosick Road in Troy, New York. Located right in the Walmart Plaza. Stop in there, check them out. Let them know the Pitch Putt and Puff crew sent you. Flowers, pre-rolls, edibles, tinctures, vapes, you name it, they got it. And as well as Trouble Off the Tee. Shout out Marty and company. TroubleOffTheTee.com. Promo code RGB for 15% off site-wide, as well as promo code PUFF for buy one, get one free on the polos. Don't forget to check out the book, available on Spotify and Audible, Trouble Off the Tee, written by Marty Minden, narrated by Jake Adams. Take a quick break, and we'll bring in our guest. Welcome back to the Pitch Putt and Puff podcast. My name is Roger, aka RGB. Got a special guest here today. You guys have probably seen her all over Instagram, YouTube. We have the one and only Mei Brennan. What's up, Mei? Thank you for joining the podcast.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Really cool for sure. Why don't you tell us a little? We see you on social media and all that stuff, but why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into golf?
Yeah. Let's see. I started golfing, actually started golfing probably when I was about 8 years old. My dad is the one that got me started. Like a lot of other golf girls, I think it's usually the dad's influence. But my dad was in the U.S. Navy, so he'd be deployed all the time. And then when he was home, he wanted to golf, but he also wanted to hang out with his family. So was forced into the game. He killed two birds with one stone by making us play golf. But I quit for a long time because golf wasn't cool. You know, I didn't see a lot of females playing it. So between probably like 10 to 15, I didn't even touch a club. I didn't want to go to a golf course, nothing. Finally got back into it in high school, learned that I was actually good at it. And then I kept going, played college for 3 years. And then, yeah, now I just get to golf and travel
That's
as a
awesome.
job. So
what was your plan after college? Like, did you plan on pursuing like the LPGA at any point, or what was your plans after college?
no, not at all, actually. I actually quit the team in college after 3 years because I was like, golf isn't going to be my career. Like, I need to find some work experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I joined like student government. I was planning on doing graphic design.
Okay.
So they hired me as a graphic designer for the school and all that. I ended up working at Pinterest actually after college. Um, and yeah, I don't know. Instagram, social media kind of just took over, and I was like, wait, this could be a career.
Yeah. So that's kind of how you got into the whole social media side. Was just started taking like video and yourself playing golf, and then all of a sudden the clicks started to follow.
Yeah, like I've always loved like Instagram. I think Instagram is so fun because everybody's kind of showcasing the best parts of their life.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's cool. Like Facebook, Twitter, like I just hear people complaining, all the time and like you read
Oh yeah.
some sad things like but Instagram it's like all the highlights. And actually a team selfie went viral back in like 2016 and like viral was only about like 500 likes kind of thing, like it was
Sure.
anything crazy, but I gained like 3 4 followers from it. I was like, oh, like this is cool. So then I started just posting more and more golf stuff. And then when was it? I was at about like 30,000 followers, and that's when Holy Moly reached out, which is like an ABC show
Mm-hmm.
produced by Steph Curry, that extreme mini golf.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, but Um, got on that show. Everybody plays a character, and I played the influencer of mini golf. So
Okay.
that gave me a huge boost, and I gained like 20, 30,000 followers in overnight from that.
Wow, that's crazy. That is absolutely insane. I'm struggling. I had 150 followers at Christmas. I'm struggling to hit the 2,000 mark right now. I'm like 80 away. It's a struggle, especially I get a little bit of a shadow ban, like certain posts. If I post like my logo or like I'm sponsored by a CBD company, so if I post their logo, immediately gets flagged. So I have to be careful on
Mm.
this end of things of what I'm doing, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But
yeah. And I think like during 2022, it was a lot easier to
mhm,
go viral and have like, everybody was just online at that time.
right.
Um, yeah, I think it's way harder to grow now, honestly.
Yeah, it's definitely tough, and there's so many golf. I mean, podcasts and influencers and stuff like that. So you guys like to do what you guys do and stand out like that is really awesome. Because I know the grind. It is a struggle. It is an absolute struggle. I even have a tough time getting my friends to jump on the podcast with me for 20,
Yeah.
30 minutes. It's like, come on, man, jump on, help out. I'm getting you guys free golf and all this other crap.
Yeah.
But so how did the golfer girl game start? Because I've been following you, Sabrina, Caitlin for a long time, all 3 years pretty much on there. And then one day all of a sudden I seen you guys all golfing together. How'd that come
Yeah.
about?
Honestly, it was just an idea. Like Sabrina had it. We have an investor um that helps us and everything. So it was kind of her idea, and then she just chose some girls that she knew was good on camera and that can play golf. And it's just grown from there. We first had our tournament, the very first like tournament
Mm-hmm.
outing, back in November, I believe, in Florida, and that was like a big one. Like 8 girls came out, and like they're kind of just trying testing it out, to see how many girls are better, like a smaller group, a bigger group. So
Right.
lots of tests, but um, yeah, it's been awesome. I think what's really cool. It's like college, high school, like yeah, I've been on golf teams, but it never really feels like a team because it really is still an individual sport where you're still competing against your team. But with this, like, it's just this little girl group, and we all like each other, and everybody's just here there to have fun, really.
Yep.
So it's just different. It's
That's
really
the
cool
best
though.
part. Like I watched a few of them. It was like I told you earlier. I have my 6-year-old daughter. I got her golfing, and I threw it on the TV, and I was getting ready to change the channel and put one of her Nickelodeon shows on or whatever. She goes, "No, Dad, I'm watching this." I'm like, "Oh, you are okay." And it was like you and Sabrina. I think it was the one where you guys you lost a bet in Vegas.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, you lost a bet in Vegas, and you guys had to go blonde out there and do some dancing. She's like, "What are they doing?" I'm like, "They lost the bet." I had to explain all that to her. That was funny. But so like, watching it, it looks like you're the type that looks like you just go with the flow and out there to have a good time. If
Yeah,
I'm,
that
yeah,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
then you
I
got
do so bad under pressure. Like any pressure I have, I just crumble. So that's always my mentality. It's just let's like have fun, like everything's good.
Sabrina looks like she's extremely competitive, huh?
Yeah, yeah, she is.
It's
She
so
really
funny.
is. You can see it in her eyes. It just changes.
Hitting a shot, running up the hill to see where it went, and all this stuff. It was funny. And she's always got the trash talking going.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I watched the blondes and brunettes one was definitely one of the funnier ones. But what I did like that a game you guys did at Wolf Creek, playing Wolf there. That's a
Wolf,
great.
yeah.
That's I never knew that game until I watched it on the show, and I was like, this is a great game to play with the boys on a Saturday or Sunday for sure.
Yeah, it was my first time playing that game, and yeah, it was so much fun. Like just because every hole you have a different teammate, so it's just
Hmm.
always changing. And what I liked about it, it's like anybody could win.
Right.
Like even if you had some struggle holes, like in the end, like we were all very close to the point. So
That's
yeah, you're
awesome.
never out of it.
So I seen also you speak Japanese and you're out in Japan playing some golf recently as well.
Yeah, I was just
That's
like
cool.
maybe a month ago. So I was born and raised in Japan, lived there till I
Okay.
was 8 years old. My dad was stationed out there, so I'm half Japanese. My mom's Japanese.
Okay.
And I hadn't gone. I usually went back like every summer, but since COVID, I hadn't gone back. So it was about 4 years. So it was really cool to go back. And
What are
I
what are
gained like 5 pounds in the week I was there. I was
the
just eating so much.
how was the courses out there?
It was great. It like It's just so different, I guess, how like in America, going out and playing a quick 9 holes is something you do. In Japan, it's an event when you go out and play golf. You know, they pick you up from the train station or wherever for one of the courses. We rode a ferry,
Mm-hmm.
and they have a shuttle to pick you up, take you to the course. You have breakfast, you play 9 holes, you come back and you do kind of like this spa thing, and then have a lunch. You know, you take your time, and then you go play the back nine.
Hmm.
Um, so it's a lot more formal, I guess, in America. You know, and I love the informal golf. You know,
Right.
wearing just shorts and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But in Japan, it's just a lot more formal. It's just different.
Huh. That's interesting. That's definitely
Yeah.
interesting out there. Um, the other thing I had to ask you about was why'd you have to do that to that cactus? You
Oh,
hit the you hit that line drive. You called your shot. You literally talked about it and then proceeded to blast the thing. That was
I know.
hilarious. That was great.
I mean, what is it? Trees are 90% air. I don't know what
90% there.
cactuses are, but yeah. Well, I think there's been a lot of like weird, cool shots, and I never get those filmed. It's always like the one hole that I didn't film kind of thing. So that was a cool, I hit a cactus on my tee shot.
Yeah, that's good.
Called it. So.
Do you usually bring like a whole crew with you? How many people when you go out? Like if you're not just going out and filming for yourself, like how many people do you usually bring with you?
When I'm shooting content, what do you mean?
Yeah, yeah, like when you're shooting content.
Um, I guess it depends. Like most of the time, it's just me and my videographer.
Okay.
A lot of my videos, like on Instagram, I will bring like 5, 6 outfits with me, and I go at the very after the last tee time, which is always the best lighting anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, I just go out and change, film, that kind of thing.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, so that because like when I do go out and play with my friends and stuff, like I hate being the one filming every single shot kind of
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
And I don't want to be annoying, and I also want to focus on my game. So I make, like today is content day. Today is just golf, and I have to like separate that.
Yeah. So that's funny you say that because I'm kind of finding myself doing the same thing because last year I was worried about getting all the footage, get all the footage, get all the footage, but my golf was struggling because I was more worried about getting the video, see if the camera's running opposed to hitting my shot. Okay, I'm 140 out. What am I going to use? Opposed to, oh, did
Hmm.
he hit his shot? Yeah, I got to get a good video of this. So now I kind of just set the camera up on the cart and I record the whole thing, and people don't even know when I'm filming and when I'm not. So now in my head
Hmm.
as well, I don't know when I'm filming, and my golf has
Yeah.
gotten a lot better this year from it.
Yeah, you can focus on the golf, yeah.
Yeah.
And even that, like you probably get more like real moments, that are funny or whatnot,
Hmm.
because you're always filming.
Yeah, some of the knuckleheads I play golf with, those there's I can't post some of the stuff they say out in the golf course. We'll shut down real quick. We have a good group of guys out there though. What we do
Yeah.
is I have 8 guys we play every Sunday morning, and we basically go play our round. At the end of the round, everybody comes in. They pick a card, so it's like king king, that's your team. Ace ace, that's your team. Lowest score
Mhm.
wins. So it's pretty much the same 8 guys. We're a good mix between like handicaps and stuff. So it usually works out. I mean, every once in a while, the two better scores will win, but for the most part, it's a point or two difference when it comes down to the winner.
Yeah.
A few different tiebreakers and stuff like that, but just to mix it up and do something different and make it a little interesting on a Sunday morning.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That it's like every Sunday too. It's like
Uh,
consistent, it's just in your calendar.
yeah, we have a standing tee time at our local golf course. We're taken care of real
Oh,
well over there. Um,
yeah.
it's great. It really is great. This weekend, unfortunately, because of Father's Day, I don't have my tee time locked in, so I got to wake up
Mm.
bright and early and make sure I get my couple tee times for the boys for sure.
Father's
Um,
Day, it's like the busiest day in golf on the golf
uh,
course. It's crazy.
it's funny though because like with Mother's Day, like we had the whole weekend planned, and then I asked my wife, I'm like, "What's the plans for this weekend?" She's like, "Oh, nothing." I'm like, "Oh, okay, Father's Day, we get no love." She already knows I'll be on the golf course all weekend, so she's like, "I'm not gonna plan anything. You're gonna be gone."
Yeah.
But so my buddy Anthony's actually the one who told me how to reach out to you from upstate, the upstate golf guys. I don't know if he reached
Okay.
out to you. I'm on that
I
podcast
know.
as well, so I got to give him a shout out for giving me the plug to get in touch with you for sure. I really truly appreciate you hopping on here. I don't want to take too much of your time, but I usually like to wrap up What I want to ask you, what's coming up for next with the Golfer Girls and yourself? What's coming up down the road for you? Because I see you traveling all over. Literally every time you post something, it's a different state or country or whatever.
I've I'm actually not going to a golf girl games for a while.
Okay.
They try to do on one like event a month. And I have not been invited back, so I don't know when the next one will
Oh man,
be.
we'll have to
I
talk to them.
know. Yeah, yeah, we need to get on that.
Yeah.
Um, but what do I have? I think during the summer, I like during the winter, I travel a lot more and I try to schedule more
Hmm.
traveling just because living in Utah, it's snowy and gross.
Yep.
Um, but Utah summers are my favorite, so I'm like more picky, I guess, with my
Gotcha.
travel, but I think I'll be heading out to San Diego here in a little bit. And then mostly staying kind of local, might go to Southern Utah just because they have some really cool courses, but
Hmm.
that's about it.
Yeah, my
And
buddy Eric. I met him through my friends down in Texas. He was from Utah, and then he always said the golf courses out there were amazing, just beautiful, the mountains, everything else, just a beautiful scenery for
yeah,
sure, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah. So what I like to do is wrap up with three questions,
Okay.
all golf related, nothing crazy on you. What's your favorite club in your bag?
Ooh, driver, always.
Driver. Okay.
Yeah.
Always. That is my least favorite. I'm
Oh,
sponsored by Trouble Off the Tee. It's a book, audio book written by Marty Minden, and this is the perfect sponsor for me because I cannot get off the tee to save my life. If I do, I play great. If I don't, my round struggles. I can't figure it out.
uh, wait,
My pro,
what's your miss? Do you get nervous? Is that why?
I am the least nervous person ever. Like I am the kind of like you would just go with the flow, show up, whatever. But I don't. I think I'm starting to overthink. Like I snap hook a lot now. I used to have a mean. I was a baseball player, so I had the mean slice. So then
Mm.
I tried to adjust the grips, and I also batted left-handed my whole life, but I'm golfing righty now. So that took a
Oh,
couple years to figure out. But all of a sudden, I started having a draw towards the end of last year. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And now the draw is turning into a snap hook all of a
what?
sudden. So I'm like, all right,
Mm.
where am I standing different? Like, and then you get up there, and I don't. I was talking to my buddy about this last night. When I line up my tee shot, I don't ever do the same thing over and over and over. Like a free throw in basketball, I used to do the same thing, line my foot up, do all this. Golf, I literally walk up, I grab the club, and I swing. Like I don't pay enough attention, I guess, to what I'm doing to figure out what's going wrong. But
Yeah.
that's definitely the least favorite club in my bag. My 7 iron
Mm,
is my favorite, just because of the
seven.
versatility of it. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
And then it would be my putter behind that.
oh,
I love
that's
my
good.
putter. Yeah,
That's awesome.
that's why I save a lot of strokes because I struggle off the tee. I got to make it up
Yeah,
somewhere. So on the greens is usually where I do that.
where you make it up. Yeah.
Yeah. You've played a lot of courses. What's your favorite course you ever played?
I say Friar's Head. I think it's like number 15 in the world or country or something.
Okay.
Just a fun course. I've played Pine Valley, which is number one. And that's top up there as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just started allowing women to play Pine Valley only like 3 years ago. So I was like
What?
the first 100th women to play it.
That's insane.
Yeah,
We're 2020s here and they're just letting females out there. That's
I know.
crazy.
I mean, there's some courses still in America that don't allow women to play.
That's
Um,
insane.
isn't it? In
How's that not a
America, like
lawsuit?
exactly.
I'm surprised a lawyer's not all over that. And then the last question I have for you is if you had three people you could choose to round out your foursome, who would it be?
I always say my dad. That's like the
Okay.
only person I really care about to golf with. Like,
That's awesome.
yeah, I know everybody says Tiger Woods, but I'd be
Yeah.
too scared and intimidated to play with him. But I don't know. Just golfing with my dad's always my favorite.
That's awesome. I'm hoping my daughter says that down the road as well. Down the road as well. And then, speaking of being nervous, I have to ask you: when you were at that good event in front of all those people on that par three, how nervous were you? Because I know I'd be
I was
terrified.
shaking. I was shaking. Um, and I don't know. So that first hole, I don't know. I forgot how to hit a club. Like I was on my backswing and I was like, wait, like I blacked out. Um, I didn't even chunk it. Like it was like a weird. I've never hit a shot like that. Like it was just such a weird hit. And
Mhm.
then the second hole, again, like my adrenaline was so high that I flew the green, went over onto the road, and I actually hit a moving car. I've never hit a car before. Yeah, so embarrassing. But
I just hit a
yeah.
car last year. I was out of a bunker
Oh,
and going through the road. Yep. I was in the bunker. I was playing with a couple of buddies who I never played with before. And I was at the point where I was starting to feel like confident that I was getting good at golf. So I could like play with better players and like talk a little shit. And I was in the bunker. I was like, oh dude, my buddy taught me how to do this last week. I'll flop it out. I scold this thing. Thank God it was like an old beat up work truck because it smacked the side panel on this thing so hard.
oh.
I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna cost me a couple bucks. The truck just kept moving. I was like, whew, thank God.
Oh.
But I got lucky. I got lucky for sure. For sure.
Right when you like feel confident about your game, that's when golf definitely humbles you.
Instantly, like the balloon popped, and I was like, man, like I still suck at this game. But
Yeah.
I mean, for myself, I was shooting. I started 6 years ago, and I was 7 years ago, and I was shooting in like the 130s when I first started because mostly of not knowing how to swing a club from the right hand side.
Hmm.
But once I slowly developed how to figure that out, now I'm starting to get a little bit of power behind it. And it's really like if I just figure out off the tee, I'll be consistently in like the low 80s, I think. That's where I've been most
Yeah.
of the year anyway, where my goal is an 85 every time I show up to the course. So if I hit that, I'm a happy camper.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what's the lowest round you ever shot?
Tournament a 68.
Ooh,
Um, just for fun, I shot a 31 on a 9
wow.
once. Yeah. And
Wow.
then I quit. I didn't play 18 that day. I just shot my 31 and went home and I'm like, why did I not keep playing?
Yeah, absolutely. Jeez, you wouldn't have been able to pull me off the course. There was
Yeah.
a there was a time recently where I was having a pretty good round in my I play my daughter gets off the school bus at 4 o'clock. I'm usually out of work at noon every day. So I called my mother. I was like, is there any chance you can go get the school bus today? I'm on a hot one right now. And I was like, even on like the 14th or 15th hole, and I was like having a really good round. I was like, she's like, no, I'm in a meeting. I had to leave. So I never know what
Oh,
that round could have been.
what it could have been.
Yeah, unfortunately. Uh, but that's great. So May, I really, like I said, I truly appreciate you hopping on. This is awesome. Where can everybody find you?
Instagram, MEIOO00. Don't judge the username. I made it when I was in high school. So, but yeah, thank you for having me.
No, this is awesome. Like I said, truly appreciate it. I'll definitely be following the page, and like I said, my half of my friends didn't believe me when I told them you were coming on. So this is a good one. This is a good one for sure. And I will actually talk to you again down the road on the Upstate Golf Guys podcast.
Okay, I love it. Thank
Sounds
you.
good. Thanks so much. Appreciate everybody tuning in, and we'll talk to you soon. Later. Thank you very much for May to hop on. That was so cool. For someone I heard with her social media influence, a golf presence, the whole 9 yards. Everybody knows who she is as soon as you see her. Really, really appreciate her taking the time helping out such a small podcast like the Pitch Putt and Puff. Once again, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Got some big things coming up for to round out this summer. 4th of July, stay tuned. Check out the Legends New York page. Going to have the Legends podcast coming out real soon as well. Just got to iron out a few things with Michael. But other than that, make sure you guys go check out golfercbd.com, Golfer CBD USA on the Instagram. They're introducing new essentials to every golfer's toolkit. Golfer CBD. These products are formulated by golfers for golfers. Every phase of your game, preparation, performance, recovery. The Golfer CBD line includes only the ingredients necessary to enhance your game and in the strengths that work. All the products are THC free, so competitive golfers, you won't be violating any rules. Also, locally, 420 Bliss, located at 740 Hoosick Road, Troy, New York, right up in the Walmart Plaza. Make sure you stop in there, check them out, let them know the Pitch Putt and Puff crew sent you. And once again, Trouble Off the Tee, my man Marty, TroubleOffTheTee.com. Promo code RGB for 15% off, as well as promo code PUFF for buy one, get one free on the polos. Uh, Really, really dope episode. Once again, May, thank you so much for jumping on. Uh, Everybody tune in. We got the recap show, excuse me, no recap because we got rained out this past weekend. But we'll be back on Friday. You'll have the preview of this upcoming weekend, the Father's Day special. Maybe have a 2-day event if I can lock in a couple tee times with the boys, and then gonna have Rihanna from Jaunty on this week. We're also gonna have uh, her friend Lindsay, the NY Canada women. So make sure you guys tune in this week. Got some heat for you, and we'll be back tomorrow with another episode. Later.